Christopher Geisen was first introduced to radio in 1973 when he was a student in high school. He did a regular air shift on the school's 10-watt radio station, WNSD, in Cincinnati. After graduating, Chris attended Northern Kentucky University, studying under well-known personality Bob Braun and his instructor, Dick Murgatroyd. While there in 1976, Chris got his first job at WHKK-FM in Erlanger, Kentucky, producing an hour-long news lifestyle show and eventually doing a regular air shift on the station. In 1977, Chris was voted Best Radio TV Announcer. In 1986, Chris was hired by Tom Carroll at WTOE in Dayton, which began a long legacy for Chris. He became program director, but probably his most memorable performance was when Chris rebelled against the regular music format and decided to play only Led Zeppelin songs for his entire air shift. After several nights of doing that, he was disciplined by his superiors, and as a payback, Chris conducted a food drive to benefit the Dayton Food Bank, collecting many barrels of food for those in need. But it was in 1987 when Chris teamed up with Steve Kerrigan that his whole radio world began to change. The Kerrigan and Christopher Show was born and became a major hit. It was the #1 morning show from 1988 until 1999.
And I think that was what made the Kerrigan and Christopher Show so successful, was we were just like the average person that was listening. We wanted to have fun, we wanted to get out and do things, and it made it fun to go to work every day, knowing that we were helping people and making people laugh, and we were just like the guys on the street. And I think to this day, Christopher is still the same way, and that's why I wanted to bring him back. He's about as humble as you can get. Just recently we were on stage, for a show, and he still gets a little nervous doing that, and after all these years, which means he's still having fun doing what he does. And I'm just very pleased to call him my friend for all these years, and now that he's going into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame, he can be together. We can all be together with our good buddy Steve Kerrigan, who we lost a few years ago. And it's kind of a nice little family feeling to be together, and I think that's what's made it so successful for him. Not to mention, he'd be the first person to stand in line to do something for somebody, so I'm proud to call him my friend.
Kerrigan and Christopher made many public service functions, including the annual Turkey Bowl at Thanksgiving, where contestants paid to bowl a turkey down a bowling lane. The money collected was given to local needy families at Christmas time. Probably the most notable function was the ice stunt, where Kerrigan and Christopher collected several truckloads of food for the Dayton Food Bank, while Kerrigan was frozen in a block of ice and Christopher was on the air, refusing to eat the entire time to encourage listeners to bring in food. In 1994, Kerrigan and Christopher were voted by their parent company, Summit Broadcasting, as having the best morning show in the Dayton area. When Kerrigan was diagnosed with lymphoma, Christopher participated in several Light the Night charity cancer benefits in Dayton. In 2009, Christopher returned to his hometown of Cincinnati as midday and afternoon voice at WOFX-FM. His charity work continues to this day in the Cincinnati community. Please welcome Christopher Geisen into the 2017 class of the Dayton Area Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. I got a really lump in my throat here after. I'm really humbled by this. I want to thank everybody involved. First, I want to thank my mom and dad who are here tonight. My mom and dad are getting ready to celebrate their 65th wedding anniversary next month. Please stand. They're at the table with a family friend, Father John, who is pastor of St. Christopher here in Vandalia. Father John and I laugh about that quite often. He was a big Kerrigan and Christopher fan, so there. Next, I want to thank my family, my two daughters, Alex and Lauren, who sometimes didn't see their dad a lot because he was sleeping from getting up at 3:45 in the morning. I'm so proud of them both. They've always supported me, and they're sunshine of my life. Lauren, Alex. Alex is here with her husband, Philip, and Lauren's getting ready to get married next month to her fiance, Nick. Also want to thank their mom, Sheila, who put up with me for a long time. She supported me when things weren't so good, and thank you, Sheila. She's here with her husband, Tim. Also want to thank the man who hired me at WTUE, Tom Carroll, who was a big Kerrigan and Christopher supporter, as was Deborah Parenti, Hall of Famer. Ask Deborah to tell you the van story. She loves telling that story. Tom would a lot of times come into our office and say, "Did you guys?" And we'd go, "Yeah, we did that." And he'd go, "Okay." And that's the last we ever heard about it. Tom, thank you very much. I want to thank the entire staff of WTUE, especially John B. Manbolio, who is one of my dearest friends. Anybody who ever worked with Kerrigan and me, Rhonda Blevins, Major Dick Hale, John Majorowski, Susan Frank, Sean Higgins, Ron Robertson, Gene Destro, all of our correspondents. My best friend in life right now is my girlfriend, Winona. Believe it or not, she called me on the request line when I was working at WTUE. She's my biggest fan. Obviously, none of us would be here if it wasn't for the listeners of Dayton and the viewers of Dayton. I want to send out a big thank you to all the listeners, the viewers, all the politicians, the sports people that we made fun of and took advantage of. Thank you so much. Last but certainly not least, I get real emotional when I talk about Steve. We were together 13 years, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here, and I thank him. Steve's son, Aaron, is here tonight. Aaron, will you please stand? We had a great time on the radio, and I will never forget it. Thanks to all my friends from iHeartMedia, too, for being here tonight, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much.